All right, hello and welcome to this boss guide for God Hunter Argentus. God Hunter Argentus can be found at the Stolen Lance timeline. It's a fight with a good number of mechanics, but none that are especially threatening. Knowing the mechanics should make the fight pretty easy for most players. As far as damage types are concerned, there are three: fire, cold, and physical. There's a couple of modifiers to avoid. First off, enrage at half health, then frenzy and haste when hit. These two especially together are very, very deadly. You shouldn't take these for any bosses. Another one you shouldn't take for any bosses is armor and prots as a percentage of the enemy's health. All right, let's get into the mechanics of this fight. It's a three-phase fight. Phase one is just you and God Hunter Argentus, and he has a total of 4 abilities that he uses during this phase. The first one is a ballista attack. For this particular attack, ballistas are placed around the room that fire a group of projectiles at the player from all angles. These ballistas are always up and they're always in the same places, but they don't always attack. There's a telegraph that follows the player for a short time and then it locks into place. The projectiles are fire and or physical damage. It's unclear which, but it's a low damage attack per projectile. But if you're hit by all projectiles, it can deal significant damage. It's pretty easy to dodge. Just run until the ballistas target lock and then move out of the way. The next ability is a spiral of fire. Argentus releases a spiraling group of fire attacks that are circular in shape. The attacks originate near Argentus and then progressively detonate outwards. Each circle is low to moderate damage, and they can be dodged by standing away from Argentus, then running in or using a movement skill, or alternatively, you can stand in a safe spot in between the circles. The next attack is a melee line attack. It's a close range line attack that does cold and possibly physical damage. It is moderate to high damage, but it can be avoided by staying out of melee range and or strafing. The final attack for phase 1 is a cold channeled AoE attack. The channeled cold attack does high damage over time and occurs in a circle around Argentus. The channel is well telegraphed, and even if the player gets clipped by the attack, they should still have time to get out before dying. All right, the next phase, which occurs around 50% of health, is an add phase. During this phase, the ballista attack persists through this phase, but the other attacks do not occur. Now, the adds themselves have 3 attacks. The first one's a meteor-style attack. It's a telegraphed low to moderate attack that is cast by multiple enemies, which seem to be the light mages, at once and at the player. Individual meteors are not too threatening, but getting hit by multiple could be deadly, and they do tend to stack on top of each other. Next attack is a conal attack. This is a low damage melee attack with a short telegraph, where the adds raise their hand, which is also glowing. It's mainly a gear check mechanic. Don't need to worry too much about getting hit by this if your gear is decent. The third attack is a volcanic orb style attack. It is similar to the mage skill of the same name. It has a moderate damage core, which goes out from the add, and after a short time bursts into low damage shrapnel. The shrapnel itself isn't very threatening, but running into the core can do significant damage. Once you've cleaned up all of the adds, you'll get to phase 3, and at this point, Argentus comes back into the arena. He has the same mechanics from phase 1, but adds 1 additional attack, which is a circle around Argentus with 3 bars that shoot outwards from the circle. It's unclear exactly how targeting works for the bars. It seems as though one is meant to target the player, with the other 2 at about 135-degree angles from the targeted bar, but pets seem to mess up the targeting, causing the bars to be much more erratic. Attacks can be easily dodged by moving to the side of the bars or running out of the circle if in melee range. That is all there is to God Hunter Argentus. I hope this was very helpful. If you follow the mechanics here, I do believe that almost all players, if not all players, can pretty easily beat God Hunter Argentus. In my opinion, it's one of the easier fights in the Monolith of Fate. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more Last Epoch gameplay, I do stream on Twitch 5 to 6 days a week, and most of the time I am playing LE, and a lot of that time is in the Monolith of Fate. I also have a Discord where we discuss all things LE and lots of other ARPGs often. Feel free to come and join us and join in the conversation there as well. All right, thank you so much for watching. Have a great time in Last Epoch.